Hello, my friends, it's Johnaroth. And do you know what's better than a cup of coffee? 2 cups of coffee. But you know what's better than 2 cups of coffee? A zombie apocalypse army to take on everyone. Today in Brawl, we are playing Temmet, Naktamun's Will, and I had to pronounce that a few times to get it correctly. Temmet is a 4/4 Vigilance Menace zombie wizard who, whenever you attack, you draw a card and then you discard a card. So you cycle through your deck, and whenever you draw a card, zombies you control get +1/+1 to the end of turn. So as you can imagine, if you are drawing a lot of cards, you can pump up any zombies that you have in your deck to huge monster of creatures to just hit your opponent and smash them into the ground. So this is a zombie deck. It's a very good zombie deck. Zombies are a very popular creature type. We have all kinds of zombies such as Crypt Breaker for card drawing zombies, Champion of the Parish, which can get huge, Zol Ashur, which is a newer zombie warlock who can bring zombies back from the graveyard. Lots of zombies to pump up your whole army like Lord of the Undead, Death Baron, etc. We also have a good amount of control and removal through some of our counter spells, Wash Away, Mana Burn, and then we also have, of course, Bitter Triumph, Shieldred's Edict, a little bit of Planeswalker support with Liliana and Jace, but just a lot of really good zombie cards. Of all of the tribes, I would say vampires and zombies are probably my 2 favorites. There's some zombies in here that are so hard to kill permanently, such as Narfi, who you can bring back from the dead, or the Scarab God, or Oketra. So there's a lot of good synergy here. This is the type of deck where you do want to be as aggressive as possible early in the game to get in those hits and smash your opponent. So let's take Temmet into the queue and show our opponents what the meaning of zombie apocalypse is. Okay, our first game is against Grimgrin Corpseborn, played by Cuddly. Love the name. Looks like our opponent gets to go first, as is often the case. We have 2 lands. Can summon some creatures, have a counter spell. Where was it missing white mana? But I'm going to try and keep it. Bring out the Champion of the Perished. Okay, we do get a Phyrexian Arena. We're going to attack for 1, hit our opponent. I am going to summon the Stitched Assistant, but I'm not going to use his exploit ability. Well, I'm going to exploit, sacrificing him though, so we can keep the champion. That land is perfect. We need that, so we will keep it. Grimgrim is a zombie warrior. He's a 5/5. He enters tap. He doesn't untap, but you can sacrifice a creature to untap him and give him a +1/+1. And whenever he attacks, you destroy a target creature your opponent is controlling. We're going to bring out the arena because I definitely want the card draw. Okay, looks like our opponent is going to block our champion and kill him. He's going to exile our graveyard. The audacity. And bring out an Aven Eternal, which is a 2/2 flyer who summons an amass zombie token. I am going to put down the Glacial Floodplain and summon the Wayward Servant. Hopefully he tries to go for his commander. Gonna counter it with Wash Away. Still one of the most powerful counter spells, and he scoops. Our first game is an easy victory for the zombie horde. One counter spell and it's over. Good game. Our second game is against Hashaton. Hashaton is really scary because you can sacrifice or discard cards in order to bring them back from the graveyard once he's on the battlefield. So that is a scary situation for us to be in. This hand is not great. It does have some removal to it. We can scry with the Bloodstained Mire. I think I'm going to keep it, though. We're going to try this. See what we can do. Our opponent's going to surveil. And now we will surveil. We're going to get the shadowy backstreet. Undead Augur is really good for card draw, but I don't really like him in this specific situation. This is considered a swamp, so I'm going to bring this out and summon Zulashur the Lich Lord, who is a 2/2 that we can cast target zombie creatures from our graveyard. So that's going to be really useful for us. Matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and cast the Undead Augur from our graveyard and bring him onto the battlefield. Okay, our opponent is ramping really hard. I think what he's trying to do is get out Hashaton and then also ensure he has enough mana to summon a creature from the graveyard. I think that's what he's going for anyway. We're going to attack. When you have a creature type deck like zombies, it's really important that you are aggressive as possible. It's always scary because your opponent could potentially have a board wipe or something like that, which is devastating to creature decks. Our opponent is ramping really hard. Okay, we're going to say zombie for the Cavern of Souls. I'm a little concerned about trying anything. We're just going to attack for 4, keep hitting him. We'll have to do something to him on his turn, though. We are putting pressure on our opponent, though, to do something because of the fact that we're hitting him and he's losing life. He has so much mana, though. So that's going to prove to be a problem. Okay, he summons Hashaton. We're going to try to void rend Hashiton. He's probably going to try to discard something to create a zombie. Okay, we'll each draw a card. We're going to discard the diagraph because we can still cast it. Okay, he's going to try to summon Avacyn. Looks like he chooses not to do it. Surprising. I'm actually really surprised by that. Maybe he was worried about being tapped out. It's a very strong possibility. I'm going to use Zool to summon the diagraph. We're going to attack for 2. Okay, your opponent is looking for a card, clearly. We'll discard the Champion of the Perished. He's going to draw another card. Monument to Endurance is really good in the Hashiton deck. That was a good choice by our opponent. Okay, our opponent summons a Dream Trawler. We're going to wait till the end step, and then we're going to have him sacrifice the Dream Trawler. If we can pull it off. Now he's going to sacrifice his Guardian Idol. Look at that. Unfortunately, that was my way to get rid of the Dream Trawler. So, what we are going to do is we're going to play a land. We're going to use a Dark Ritual and hopefully send everything back to his hand. I hope our opponent doesn't have a Spell Pierce. That's my only worry. He does not. So now we're going to attack. Down to 6. Our opponent did the right thing by summoning the Dream Trawler. I would have probably done the same. He can discard a card to make it hexproof. We are going to attack with everything. Now, he's going to live through this. He's going to gain some life, block with the Dream Trawler. I'm hoping next turn we can close this game out. That's my goal. He's up to 2. We do get to draw a card because of the Undead Augur. Now he will definitely gain some life here. If he attacks, which it looks like he's going to. It's going to gain 5. This Undead Trawler is really helping him out a lot. He uses a Cyclonic Rift on us. Fair play. Fair play. We're going to summon a Diregraph. And then we're going to summon an Arcane Signet. We're going to put a stop on, because we do want to target this guy right before combat. Okay, our opponent summons an Ashen Rider, a 5/5 flying, and when it enters or dies, exile target permanent. Very strong. I'm going to hit the Dream Trawler with an Anguish Unmaking. He'll give it hexproof, but he's going to have to tap it to do that. Okay. It's pretty good. We're going to tap this and tap this and bring out a Mind Stone. And we're going to cast Blood on the Snow. That will destroy all creatures, including his Dream Trawler, because Hexproof will not protect it from Blood on the Snow. He will not be able to... Well, he could target Zul Asher if he wants to lose 2 more life. Which puts him down to 5. This is a very close game. Okay, our opponent's ramping once again. Trying to get out as much mana as he can. We do have enough mana to do both of these, so I'm going to summon Jace. Let's look at the top. Actually, no. I think we need to look at the next 3 cards and kind of realign our hand here a little bit. Put these 2 back with the banner on top. I'm hoping this is the turn where we can close out the game. Okay. We do have a lot of mana. I'm going to cast Brainstorm. And we're going to put the Augur and the Lord of a Curse back. I And I want to keep the Lord of a Curse, so we'll keep the Undead Augur. Here, we're going to put down the Undercity Sewers to scry. Move that off our deck. What I really want right now is a counter spell. If we could find a counter spell, that would be ideal. We do not, unfortunately. I'm going to put the Death Baron in the land back because we can't really cast the land right now. Put that like this. Attack. We'll discard the Death Baron. Okay, our opponent's moving our card back to our hand. We're going to summon the Lord of Accursed. We're going to try for Temmet as well. Our opponent's putting up a good fight. One of the new Ether Drift commanders versus the other, so... Okay, he has a Chromium on the battlefield, which is a 7/7 that can't be countered. And he can basically make it hex-proof whenever he wants. Okay, our opponent summons Hashaton. Okay, we lost Jace, unfortunately. Our opponent's down to 2 cards. I'm gonna dump the Patchwork Banner. Our opponent's gonna draw again. Now, Temmet does have Menace, so that's going to prove to be beneficial for us. Okay, he has a Sentinel. Okay, this is the moment of truth where we can either win or not. The first move that we're going to try to do is we're going to try to bounce everything back to his hand. If we do that, we could probably win the game. I'm going to pay the 1 so he does not draw another card. Okay, he does have a Swan Song. Okay. I can give both of our guys Menace, which means we can deal 3 damage. We're really close to winning this. It depends on what he wants to give up with his sacrifice here. We're going to summon the Accursed Marauder. Opponent sees what's happening. He's going to draw another card. We're going to sacrifice the Marauder. Okay, we are going to activate the ability of the Lord of Accursed to give Menace. He's going to have to block with both. It's really the best I can do right now. And we will kill both of his cards. He is still alive. So this is a little scary. And our opponent scoops. We beat the Hashatan deck. I did make one mistake on that last turn. What I should have done was just attack with both the Accursed and the Hashatan, because he would have had to block the Hashatan to stay alive, but the opponent still didn't manage to pull out anything to win the game. So really good game. Good job, Hashatan. Okay, on this game, we are playing against Coram the Undertaker. Very strong commander that cares quite a bit about what you have in your graveyard. Can get very powerful very fast. We do get to go first. I do like the mana of this hand and the fact that we can counter a non-creature spell. I'm going to keep this. We'll see how we do. Play the back street so we can surveil. We're a land, so we'll keep that on top. Okay, he summons a Bird of Paradise. He's already ramping on us. I'm going to put down an island for now. That way we can, if he has some sort of ramp card like Rampant Growth, we can counter it. Keep him from getting too much mana. Okay, summons a Llanowar Elf. We're going to summon Johnaroth the Fleshright. Whenever we cast a spell during our turn, except for our first turn, he's going to create a 2/2 zombie. Our opponent is milling things into his graveyard, which is good for Karam. And he summons a Garruk Uprising, which is really good. I'm going to summon an Undead Augur, and then a Lich Lord, which will get us another zombie. We're going to attack. Okay, summons Karam. We could eliminate his ramp, or we could summon Temmet. Getting rid of his ramp would be good. I'm going to do that. I'm going to cast Meat Hook for 1 to kill both of his other creatures. And our opponent scoops! We took the mana source away from our opponent, so all he had left was Karam. Even if he attacked next turn, he could deal some damage, but then on our turn, when we bring out Temmet, we'll be able to attack with all of our zombies, which is going to be a ton of life loss for our opponent. And our opponent's basically going to be in trouble because he's pretty much tapped out. Really good game. Okay, we're playing against Tatyova. which is a super, super strong commander. Basically, whenever a land comes onto the battlefield, they gain a life and they get to draw another card. Kind of a ridiculous card in every way. Okay, we're going to cast a Mind Stone. We're going to ramp and hit him for 1. Okay, he has a Scythe Cat Cub. Really good card that can ramp with a lot of landfall. I'm going to throw down the Undercity Sewers. Swords to Plowshares is a good answer. I'm going to discard a card to create... I'm going to get rid of the Castle Lochthwain to create a zombie. Opponent's eyeing the Crypt Breaker. We're going to have to be very aggressive against this deck. Okay, he's going to pull out a land. We need white mana here, so I'm going to go for the Godless Shrine. We're going to try to get rid of the Scythe Cat Cub, which we are successful. And I am going to discard a card to create another zombie. Said we have to be aggressive against Tatiova, or we're going to lose. Okay, he summons a Scoot Swarm, which is going to be a big problem for us. Going to create a whole bunch of bugs to block us. I'm hoping we draw a land here. We do. To bring out Temmet. I'm going to be very aggressive here. Honestly, I'm even going to attack with Crypt Breaker because he's going to get a +1/+1. What I'm hoping will happen is that our opponent will try to cast Tatiova and we counterspell it. Whether or not that happens, I don't know. I'm really hoping our opponent tries to cast his commander this turn. He does. We're going to counter it. We were prepared. We're going to attack. I am going to drop the Cavernous Souls as much as I don't want to. We need to be aggressive. Hit him for 10. I'm going to cast the Stitched Assistant. I'm going to sacrifice the Stitched Assistant to try to see if we can find something good. Meat Hook. We could kill the bug. I think that's probably worth it. We're going to kill the Scoot Swarm right now. And hope we have enough to close out the game next turn. We have to get rid of his blockers. He's down to 7. Okay, he has a Courser of Crufix, which can play lands off the top of his deck, gain him life. He's going to gain 1 life. I'm hoping he doesn't come up with any other blockers here. Okay, he's going to put Temmet back in our hand. Okay, we're going to attack. We'll drop the land because I want to keep the ring. Hit him for another, well, no block. Down to 5. Okay, he's going to gain a life. He's got a lot of mana, so that could prove to be a problem. Okay, has a Virtue of Strength and concedes! Zombies win again. Good game, Tatyova. Thank you so much for watching my video featuring Temmet, Naktamun's Will. Temmet is a really good zombie commander, and I had a lot of fun playing these games. Being in 3 colors like this, you can kind of lean a lot on zombie synergies to get out a lot of creatures for really aggressive attacks, as well as having some control and removal aspects in the blue and black colors. I really enjoyed the games the most where you just be swinging in with multiple zombies that might start off as 2/2s, but then with some card draw synergies with Temmet and some of the other effects, you can pump them up to 5/5, 6/6, and suddenly you're dealing a ton of damage. The only downside to a deck like this is zombie decks can be exploited where 1 or 2 board wipes are going to really cripple you and make it hard to recover. But that's where having the blue control aspects or having some removal from black for that one creature or planeswalker that's giving you problems really helps seal the deal for you. I would put Temmet at a very strong B tier commander for a power level perspective. The deck list is in the description below, and please do not forget to like and subscribe to my amazing content. I really appreciate all your support. Hope you have a good day.